Hi guys, so back to obviously the good looking one. Right, so I'll show you some green tree pythons. Honestly, rule number one of green tree pythons, don't touch them when it's dark. But we'll see if it's going to be nice. I think it is because it's judded.
A little bit there.
Judded, had its mouth open. But they aren't these horrible, vicious snakes. It could obviously still bite. I don't let them near my face because if I do get tagged, I'd rather it be on my hands or arms. It's acting a little bit unsure of the situation. I'm so hot now.
I was just about to say, your 5-head's got more water on it.
Jesus. More water than that water bottle?
Yeah.
Could you stop calling it 5-head? It's actually officially 5.5.
5.5 now. You've upgraded.
But yeah, beautiful, beautiful snake. Darren's hopefully going to get into green trees one day.
Yeah, I did say 2020 is going to be my year for getting one of these off.
So, next one is a little bit more temperamental. And actually, before I show you that, I'll show you this baby and I'll just give you a little tip on, because it's got a tiny bit of stuck shed, but neonate green tree pythons are extremely fragile.
Sorry, what is it, a neonate?
Neonate.
Neonate.
Yeah. So it goes from a neonate to a yearling, and then to a sub-adult and an adult. So you can see it's got a little bit of stuck shed. I have sprayed this over and over again, and you might want it against a black background.
No, it's fantastic looking.
Yeah, but the you could soak it in that, but the stress you'll put on it, and it's such a delicate animal, it's just probably better to either just keep it nice and damp. I do need to spray that, it's got a bit too warm in here. And yeah, just leave it. So it'll come off in the next shed.
This one's definitely for the people that like the orange reptiles, because this is ridiculously orange. I love it.
And look at the size of it against my finger. It's tiny. So if you do get a little bit stuck shed and it don't come off in the first 4 or 5 days, it will almost weld on. Speaking from a reptile shop owner.
It looks like it's on the net screen as well.
Yeah, it might do. Look. Yeah,
Cool little fact I found out about these the other day as well is if you've got a baby that was red or orange like this, and you grew it up
and bred it to another red one.
Bred it to another red one, they all come out red as baby.
And then they're called super reds, which means
obviously they still change over to the
yeah,
greens.
so if you breed 2 adults that was born red, like that one, I think this is correct because I haven't read up on this. Well, I've obviously read it once or twice. But if you breed 2 that was born red together, then the babies are all classed as super reds, which mean every baby that they sire or
would come out red and then go on to change
red.
colour.
Yeah.
So,
that's the rest of the shed. That's all.
So I've just started. I've always
woke up.
I want to see you hold that one.
Yeah, this one actually.
What's she going to hold you? Is it a male or female?
I haven't sexed any of them because I'm not very good at probing. I don't actually like probing. But if you're gonna risk it for a biscuit, you always get something soft. So if it does bite it doesn't lose all its teeth. I don't think it's actually gonna bite because it's retracted in. So I'll just let it see the tissue.
I'm coming around here. I'm not missing this if it does. No. What are you doing? Take the stick out. This is cheating.
Yeah, hang on. That's the only one I can't take the stick. Oh, look how it's laid. That's cool. It's never laid like that ever.
Up in top corner. Let's see if I.
Yeah, you can't see because
I'm trying to get that one. What's that one?
Reflection. Ow, it got me. No, it didn't. I thought you'd whip round. So yeah. So this is a really, really beautiful one. Lots of different colours in this one.
This is the one with the blues in it.
Yeah, and them little black specks. So if you see black specking on it, it's called mite phase if it takes up the whole scale. But if it's just a little bit of black interruptions like this, it's not a true mite phase. Now, mite phase is a colour, like a pigment mutation, which you can breed. And that's how you make your sort of really deep blacks, deep blues. You can make some, like if you Google Ella Diablo green tree python, she unfortunately passed away, but it was a Greg Maxwell production. She was an incredible black and blue green tree python, one of my favourites. And I actually named one of my caimans after her in her honour, Ella Diablo. And if Greg would have bred her to another mite phase, she's very, very heavily mite phased. So if we would have bred her to another heavily mite phased snake, the neonates would have been almost black, like a really deep black. ones that you'd probably think are not worth buying. If you was an uneducated reptile keeper, uneducated on green tree pythons, at a show, it's not the one you'd buy. You'd choose that vibrant red one or that super bright yellow one, not the deep blacks and deep browns, but they're the ones you want. So green tree python keepers, when they hatch, the really dark ones, they're the ones that hold back. And when I breed these, if I'm lucky enough to hatch any blacks, if I had said 25 eggs and they was all very, very dark, I'd keep a lot. I'd keep every one of them. And then when they mature into hopefully spectacular animals, I'd just sell off the least spectacular.
You wouldn't give one to your friend?
I don't have any friends.
We established that earlier.
So yeah, just gorgeous. But as you can see,
I want to get a little one. Let's go down to the tail, because that tail
actually kinked its tail. It's got a little kink in it, but that's how it was. It's not going to strike, trust me.
No, I'm just going to come around. I just love the colours of them.
Yeah,
because they change from head to tail, the colours and the way they, and
that's
just the colours. I was just looking at it there. I can see from, I don't need my finger on the picture there, from the blues there, and as it comes down, it turns into these greens, and then coming back down into the yellow pixelations. Absolutely beautiful.
And this is a
really
colour,
looking forward to getting one, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a colour no ball python's even close.
No.
So it's a bit like rainbow boas, a complete new colour palette. A bit like the Boland's my favourite snake that I still don't own, but I will. The thing with the Boland's is it's a lot of money to spend on a pet snake. I'll spend it on a dog, but I'm not dropping 5, 7, 10 grand on a Boland's.
Plus?
Yeah, if it's captive bred,
oh,
definitely plus. I don't know if wild caught ones come into the country, but I do suspect the odd one that crops up. Well, actually, it has to be, because only Kevin McCurley.
Kevin McCurley's produced one, because Justin Kabilka has just bought some.
2. Yeah, lucky him. So if Justin gets the secret recipe, really cool. Yeah, isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah,
look how
really
pure white
cool.
it is under its mouth. Let's try and tilt it up.
Lift its head up. I love them pits. Them heat pits are absolutely beautiful. Don't get me wrong, they've got big teeth, but jeez,
I've got big teeth.
That's a beautiful head to be bitten by.
Yeah. They've got a lot of muscle. If you look at the behind the eyes where they're...
you've got them big bulges,
so
well, they're bird eaters, aren't they? So that's why they've got the bigger teeth.
They're not.
No. Oh, there we go.
I actually covered that on my...
I watch all your videos, please don't say
I covered that day before yesterday on Instagram, thank you. Yeah, I covered that, Darren, day before yesterday on Instagram.
Yeah, because I follow you.
On my Instagram.
I just went through and you liked all the stuff on my... well done, mate. Thank you. Yeah. There's a supporter of mine right there. Look at him.
Darren's one of my favourite people in the hobby, so it's nice to have him round. I ain't offered him any food yet, right? And I had a couple of drinks to myself. I ain't offered him more. But yeah, what a beautiful snake. I just want to touch base on something. People say, are these hard to keep? No. No animal is truly hard to keep if you get the enclosure correct. Now I'm going to highlight just how basic these enclosures are. Now, for those people who think it's cruel to use paper, the reason I use paper and not lignocell is because there's no sort of plinth at the bottom to hold the lignocell.
I love these setups.
I said lignocell.
Yeah.
Why did I say lignocell? I know I was talking about earlier, but why did I say that? Going downwards. Oh, and to the feeding, they perch. We just call it perching. They perch on a low lying branch with the S bend just facing down. And then as a rodent goes down the trail they typically use, that's
cool.
when the green tree pythons
You're just standing there with a snake on a stick. It looks brilliant.
But yeah, so super basic. There's not even any heat source in any of these, and it's because the room runs at 85.6 at the moment. It's that hot.
I'm actually losing weight as I'm standing here, to be fair.
It's like you've been
one of the reasons is I've been offered no food.
But yeah, so beautiful snakes, not difficult to keep as long as you've got the housing correct. And all they don't need high enclosures if you're going to use your own heat source. If you're going to use your own independent heat source, you use longer ones because you put the heat source at one side. You shouldn't use ceramics and stuff like that because it just dries the air out. But because this room's so warm, they don't want to be any warmer. In fact, it's marginally too warm.
Just saying on that though, if you are going to keep a reptile and it's probably going to be your front room or your bedroom or like that, you're going to need a heat source.
Yeah, that's a very
good point. The reason you haven't got a heat source in here is because the actual room ambient temperature is generally like this all the time.
Room. Yeah, if you had these in a reptile room that doesn't ever drop under 82 Fahrenheit. Now I know some green tree python breeders and keepers would say that's incorrect. You can drop them way below. I just don't want you to risk it. Forrest Fanning, one of the best reptile keepers on the planet, and one of the best. He's got a tremendous amount of green tree python. In fact, I don't even know how many he's got. He might have 10, he might have 100. But he unfortunately identified the nidovirus. I don't know how you pronounce it, but the nidovirus in his collection. It was all panicked. I listened to the podcast. He did something to this effect, because I didn't write the book on it. But he literally got all the green tree pythons with this issue, put them in like an outbuilding, what was cold. It was snowing. No heat, no nothing, because he was panicked. He thought they was all going to die. And then as and when, as fast as he could, obviously, but as and when he could get heat and stuff and adapt the building to house them, didn't lose any of them. And it was all infected with nido. It's an amazing podcast to listen to. And he highlights just how hardy these snakes are. I think the key for his is obviously it was all captive bred, so there wasn't wild caught, and they just have this resilience. I think it's very important for captive bred animals. It's very important to own wild caught animals because without the wild caught ones, you can't create the captive bred ones. But I would never buy a wild caught green tree python.
There's no need to now.
No, I'd never buy a wild caught normal ball python. Obviously, unless it's a dinker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's no point. That bottom one is a bit difficult to get out, but it's I can get it out. It's just been lazy.
That's got some cool blues on it as well.
Yeah, it's got deep blues. It always looks like it's got stuck in shed on the head, but it's not. So yeah, completely different colour palette.
Yeah, real. Close. You see these photos on YouTube. You can see that blue is brilliant.
So this...
I'm smiling like a small child at the moment.
It's just gorgeous, isn't it? It looks like a dragon's head.
But say you go on Google and you look for pictures on these, they're so photogenic as well.
Yeah. You get all them scales.
It's got the proper Jungle Book lay, the way the snakes lay in the Jungle Book as well.
So this, I'm going to create a blue line hopefully from this snake. Excuse me, second up actually. That was a bit abrupt. But
again, going back down into the yellow and the greens again. Look at the white speckles in that as well.
Look at them heat pits. And I don't know if they've all got it, but they've mostly got blue or black tongues.
There we see. There it is.
Yeah. And to be honest, the cheapest chips to buy, typically at shows and stuff and from breeders, you pick your sort of like more common ones up. So just your Arus, your Sarongs, about £300.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, this whole enclosure, it was £20 for the carcass, 35 or 30 for the dogs. It's nice and fancy. Even the lights IKEA. Because I wanted to prove the point, because everyone says, you own a reptile shop, you can just go to your shop and get Vivs, because that's what I do. I own Repship UK. I ring the depot up, they send me, I don't pay for the Repship, pay for the post and packaging. So I wanted to prove a point that if you are working on a budget, if you have obviously a warm room...
I prefer them to what most reptiles sell. I really do. I love that high gloss look on the front.
And the plan is, when I sort all this out, I'm going to have basically a mini selection. Maybe about, so if that's 3, probably have 4 more.
I love the way, where is it? This one here just looks like a microwave sitting there at the moment.
Actually. Yeah, thanks. I'm always going to see it as I know. But no, it's the perch holders are from B&Q. They're something like 12mm piping. I sprayed them black with a can of spray paint from Halfords.
They do them in black anyway, if you really...
Yeah, but they didn't in York.
Not in that day.
And if you wonder why it doesn't have any water, here's a story for you. So earlier, I noticed it pooed, and because I've got royalty today, I thought, my snake's pooed, I better clean it out.
Am I royalty?
Yeah, so I put a water ball there, and Remy wanted to come and say hello to the snake, which I don't allow. And he shunted me as if to say move, so I went, and as I did that, I looked up with my mouth open, and I got snake ball water in my mouth. And
he was probably talking to himself because he don't stop talking just as bad as me. That's why your mouth was open.
I felt sick. But as you can see, because I use these deli coats. As you can see, that's about as mucky as it gets. I wouldn't drink it, but that's about as dirty as it gets.
I know a few people that would.
Yeah, well, if I was dying of thirst, I'd definitely drink it. So, yes, so there's a little bit of a video on green tree pythons. How many minutes are we in?
15.
Ah, so that's a good enough video. So there was a short video, well, a 15-minute video on green tree pythons. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about green tree pythons, you can ask in the comments, but I'm not an expert. I just know a good bit about them. But if you want to polish up, if you buy the Complete Conjurer Guide by Greg Maxwell and the More Complete Conjurer Guide by Greg Maxwell, there's nothing in there he doesn't cover. But one thing I will say is the breeding part, when he talks, well, not the breeding part, the incubation part, where he says you've got to basically incubate them at this temperature, then this temperature, then that temperature, then that temperature. It's been proven that that's incorrect. Now, a lot of breeders would set up poly boxes because if they, let's say they were breeding 10 green tree pythons and they all laid at different times, you couldn't put them all in one incubator and adjust the temperature from the first one or the second or third. So people used to create lots of different mini incubators for just a single clutch. And a few breeders thought, this is just too much hard work, it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to roll them all at 88 Fahrenheit or about that and see how they do, and they all hatched. So breeding these, you can kill them when you breed them, so you've got to be very careful. You really want to grow the snake up so you learn it. And another big tip is cycle it from day one. Don't grow up for 4 years and then drop your nighttime temperatures. This is a biggie actually.
I was going to say, what do you mean by cycle?
Yeah, so what people do, with green tree pythons, unlike ball pythons in the UK, you have to cycle them, so you have to have them at their normal 82, 83, 84 Fahrenheit for the day, and then drop it down to the high 70s. Some people go way lower than that, but I do about high 70s. But what they do is they grow up for 4 years and then cycle it. And the snake for 4 years has had 82 Fahrenheit for 4 years, and then it drops, and it's like, bad things happen. Bad things happen. So
consistency then.
Yeah. So cycle it when it's winter. Just like you let a bit of cold air. Like,
yeah, because this room, naturally, same as mine, will naturally get a little bit cooler. Or crack a window.
No,
but no, in the winter time, this room, same as mine, will naturally drop temperature slightly anyway.
Yeah, it does.
And this is why I don't do temperature drops with my ball pythons. Because
I'll show you this is my temperature control because I'm that lazy I finished it off. A mucky snake pillowcase. So when it gets too cold, I just ram that in it. So I am actually putting a digital flap on it to open and close with thermostats and stuff.
You've got one in your
incubator.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But
very
it's cool.
Sci-fi, I quite like it.
Yeah, so but I need to finish all that. So now my incubator is officially turned off and it's very, very cold in there.
Lucky for you, because I was sweating the last time I was in there.
Yeah, well, standing here, look, I will show you. Look at the temperature.
No, about 3 minutes ago when we said that's the end of the vlog, we're still going.
Yeah.
Told you he don't shut up and nod away. Worst two people to get together.
Everyone's like, oh, did you glue that on? No, it was magnets.
He's too tired to buy glue.
Magnets are more expensive. But look at all my tubs ready.
Yeah, all theirs are ready.
Can't wait. 2020 is going to be the best season in the world. Got my cutting scissors. I cut a day at 12 now. No, I don't. It's 13. No, I don't. I cut when some have hatched.
Yeah,
well, some have picked.
Yeah, which, as you know, I've just had the first time ever at Neighbours Retreat, just day 51.
That's crazy.
Never had it. We've had loads of clutches, my incubators, constant temperatures, fans going, everything like that. Normally, spot on day 55, there's a couple clutches that have gone past that, but never before.
Yeah, mine's typically day 56 to 58. I'd say 90% of all my clutches have been day 58. Mine seems to go a little bit longer. But the truth is, if you've grown up from hatchling, you've waited 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, and then all through that breeding cycle, and then you get your eggs, and then you wait 50 days, and then you cut them at 50. And it's like, just wait 5, 6, 7 more days. A big tip for you, because I saw it on a YouTube video this morning, the guy was cutting, I'm not going to name him because I'm not trying to insult or belittle anyone, but he had the pile of eggs and he was pulling them as hard as he could, but he wouldn't separate, so he cut them as they were fixed.
So there's an indicator.
That's a very big no-no. When the snake lays the egg, it lays like a sticky mucus on it. And then as the eggs touch, as the air gets to them, it dries the egg. It dries that mucus and bonds them all together. and that's to safeguard them from rolling in the wild. It's been proven that they'll rotate round and round as the female moves constantly just to keep them warm, and she creates a shiver to warm herself up, to warm the eggs up.
Twitching.
Yeah, and they shiver violently. Well, not violently, but you know what I mean. So, you've made YouTube.
What?
You're on YouTube. What do you know?
Hi, Emma.
I'm on YouTube.
Yes, you are. Where you gone?
So, what's up?
I'll see if you want to drink or out to eat.
I'm not allowed to eat. He said I'm not allowed to eat here, just in case I want to come back another time.
Don't put me on it, please.
No, I'm not. We're not. No,
It's not up to him. I'm in charge of the camera.
No, you're not on it. Right, so they shiver violently. So it's been it's been proven that they rotate round and round and round, but obviously the stickiness stops them from rotating round that way. I don't know what it's called. So there's some more interesting facts for you. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because my wife's just nearly had a heart attack and I'm sweating, Darren's sweating. So hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like this sort of video, it's impossible for us to do it more frequently because Darren lives 5 hours away. But we'll try. I'll make the effort to go down to his sometime. He'll make the effort to come up here. And we'll just do more like this. Obviously, Darren was one of the people that was at the hound show. He was the guy that invited me, foolishly. So not
the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously we'll do the Houghton video if we go this year. Anyway, that's it. We're cut and I'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.